Hi guys, Skinsfanatic here. Just a quick reminder before we get started on tonight's show that if you haven't already, please go down the bottom and subscribe to my channel. Throw me a few likes. Be much appreciated. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Oh yeah, it's that time of the week. Skinsfanatic Live. Put your 2 1s up and raise your cups up. Skinsfanatic's back, so prepare to get jacked up. Started out here in the TTC. Well, red for my team, shout out to the B&G. But hold up, cause rolling in like thunder. It's Skinsfanatic Live from the land down under. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Hit the like and summer, got the goods here, boy. Alrighty, Crazy Brave. What's happening, mate?
Hey, how is everyone? Yeah, really excited for the start of the season now. 7 days away.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? I mean, I saw your tweet today. You were like 5 down. Fuck, 7 to go, Roger. What the hell? What's going on? Might hurry this thing up already. Shit. Totally agree,
Yeah. He gives us the
sorry, I
blue
didn't.
ball with the pre-season, and then now we've got to wait 13 days. Come on, Roger, mate.
I know.
You know, juice is flowing, bro.
He got us half pronged and then he just took it all away from us, you know?
He does that.
He does that every year. You know, pre-season, it's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Sorry, my set's fallen apart already. We've only just begun.
It really...
Go for it.
Yeah, it really is the gift that keeps giving, and it's a surprise package every year. You know, we don't know what's going to happen this year. So much expectations for this football team, which is good. You know, I welcome it. I want that. You know, we'll talk about it as the season progresses. I just hope everyone does have realistic expectations. That's all I'm about. I know.
Yeah.
Right now, I probably could pick the Washington football team to win the Super Bowl. They got a talented roster, you know. Will things fall into place? Well, fuck, man, I've been watching the NFL for 30 odd years. I can't guarantee that, so we're just going to wait and see, hey?
No, we're still waiting for that season when we totally exceed expectations, you know, from around the league. It's like we're always the ones, you know, with the high expectations, but then you look at all the ESPN power rankings and all the predictions in the, you know, Lindy's back in the day and never had us going any good, but we always said to ourselves, well, maybe this will be the year that we just shock the world a little bit, and it's yet to happen. But no, well, like this is probably the most excited that I think, you know, the most reason to be optimistic in a while this season. Probably going back to at least when, you know, Gibbs showed up for his second tenure, and, you know, I guess the Shanahan hiring and that first year of RG3 sort of was like, well, we're back, baby. And then, you know, the rest is all history, isn't it? But we've,
that's right.
You know, the definitely there's some hype coming into the season, and you know, rightly so. But I am a little bit worried about the fan base's expectations might be just a little bit too high, and that normally ends up with, you know, fighting and bickering and all this shit that goes on when the team underperforms to the standard that they have set.
Yeah. I almost tweeted today that Ohio State quarterback was now the new tank for fucking the Ohio State quarterback after the performance he put up today. I mean, that's just the world we live in. We're always looking at that bloke who can, make that next big play.
Mm.
And it's just funny. Like, yeah, it can go pear shape in a blink, in the blink of an eye, and we will be talking about rookies. I I say that sarcastically because as well as I do that don't rookies to me they've got to prove it before I will toot their horn. But um, it's just funny how it works out. It's already started, and blokes are on the rise. There's teams that have got high expectations this year.
Yeah.
Will it
Well.
come to fruition? We don't know. I mean, there's already you've got players like Dak Prescott already coming out with excuses. Oh, I do. In case I do fail, just know that I do have a bad shoulder as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That ankle's not quite right, and the shoulder's a little bit funny.
It's just in
You
case you
know,
don't know.
in case you were wondering. Yeah. No, well, it's funny actually. You mentioned that the rookies being put up on the pedestal too early. I mean, we were just talking about off air for a little bit about after the preseason, they were already sizing up Jarrett Patterson's bust for Canton. Um, I think we need to pump the brakes on the Jared Patterson, being the next MVP of the league, or he's and this is another example of as we saw the 53-man roster announced during the week that Jimmy Moreland was cut, and the
I
uproar.
thought he was Hall of Fame too.
Well, the uproar um, about Jimmy Moreland being cut, you would think we just cut Darryl Green. Like, whatever happened? Whatever happened to In Ron We Trust? And that's the problem with the fan base as well. It's always In Ron We Trust, or it's in the savior, Scott McLuhan. Um, you know, in Scott we trust. And then when Scott, shit the bed, then obviously we didn't trust him anymore. So, out he went, and you know, it's it's just it's the expectations that this fan base sets and puts on
They
people.
yeah, they do.
It's
They
it's their
do.
it's their own undoing. Like when rather just sit back and say, okay, well, look, he didn't develop into the player that we thought he was, and we moved on. Or he didn't turn out to be the coach we thought he was, and we moved on. Or he didn't turn out to be the, you know, expert general manager that we thought he was, and we got rid of him.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I will say this if I can interrupt you. I think Ron Rivera has got a fairly good grasp on that,
hmm.
as you might agree. Um, right now it's a lot of the fans and even the media who are coming to grips with it, that he might make a decision that's not going to please everybody. Like he's not there to fucking please everyone, right? Like,
No,
what?
I know what you're saying, and I agree. And look, we saw this at the beginning of last season when we cut Adrian Peterson. I mean,
There you go. Yeah,
like that was like, oh, what have we done? What have we done? And
yeah,
we sat here on Skinsfanatic Live as the news pretty much broke, and we were cool headed about it, and we said, well, look, Rivera's here, and he's made the choices that he's making, and we're going to support it. And we realise that he's made the decision for the right reason. Hopefully,
I think me, we both have cool heads when it comes to this football team. That's why we are on uh, a podcast and broadcast every week.
Hmm.
You know, we do speak the truth. There was no reason to get panicked about any of the decisions that have been made. We will watch them as they progress. You know, Ron Rivera upset quite a few people last year. He, Ron Rivera, Ron Rivera's job was on the line after the second fucking week last season, maybe the third. By the third, it was definitely on the line. On
It was
the,
the Giants game.
after,
The Giants
after,
game when you know
like
the
Ron
Giants
Rivera's
game.
going to
They thought
make
they
some
were going to
decisions that's going to piss
run
a
him out
few
of town.
people off. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm not. Look, I was like whenever someone gets cut, I'm like, okay, well, let's break it down. All right. Jimmy Moreland was a late. He was a late pick. He was a what is he? He probably even was undrafted, wasn't he? I can't even remember now.
yeah.
Um, you know,
No,
he had
he
a
might be.
all right, whatever. We had him. You know, this he had a reputation of being a ball hawk. I think he came up with one interception in week one last season. Was it? I know Moreau had one. Fabian
Yeah,
Moreau had one last season, which was nice.
yeah,
And didn't Moreland have one as well
yeah. I
in that
think it was Jim.
comeback?
Yeah,
But that
Jimmy.
that was about it. I mean, he had a play there. If he picked off that pass
Mm-hmm.
against Cincinnati and ran it into the end zone, he might have stuck around on the team. But he
Well, we don't
decided
have no time for
he
no
decided to
motherfucking
let me
idiot.
finish. He decided to slap it down. Do you
Yeah,
know the play I'm talking about? Like he had a chance to put two hands on that ball and
yeah.
tiptoe the sideline and possibly stay back in and get a decent gain, and he just slapped it down. We don't want
Yeah.
players on the team we want players that catch the fucking ball. So
Well,
that ball
um,
hawk shit is out the door with him.
it
That
was
was it.
all talk. Really,
Mm.
if we want to be honest about it, um, you know, I'm sure that he does have abilities, but he didn't take it advantage of his opportunities, did he?
No.
So this is what
Well,
happens, and I'm sorry, out, out the door. Um, we're going to go with the blokes we've got. We need that, we need character in the side. Um, Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew have decided to go with the younger blokes at cornerback. Benjamin St. Jude, he looks quite lanky, really looks like he could be turn into something. So I'm excited to see him playing.
mm,
And I'll tell you what, Kendall Fuller is probably the best player on our, or maybe the second best player on the team. He can make a difference.
yeah. Look, I think um, one of the reasons, like, also behind the Jimmy Moreland cutting, and this is it. Now we've spent 5 minutes talking about Jimmy Moreland, but it was the play of Mac was it McTire and Ronald what's his name, was it Williams, the bloke we got, yeah,
Roberts,
Roberts, sorry, yeah, Roberts.
yeah,
Those guys seem to have a little bit more height, a little bit more gamesmanship to them, I think. And, it was probably a tough call, but the fact that we didn't bring Jimmy back on the practice squad tells you something too. And I don't really know, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We the fan base that I was following um, bunged on about all the players that we cut, like, oh, he'll get signed up, he'll get snatched up, oh, he'll end up on this roster, and oh, he's gone, oh, not going to look forward to when we play him. Well, we fucking signed pretty much all the players that we were so sad that we cut. We signed them all back to the practice squad anyway.
it's
So
just
it's quite
it's
amazing.
just unbelievable. It's almost
The only
so hard to explain, like the way
it
people
is.
carry on about that last couple of spots on the roster. fuck me.
Mm. Like it's going to make a massive difference, but it could. Who knows? But like the only
Yeah.
players that we lost to other teams is Sims Junior. I think he signed with Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Sims Junior's at Pittsburgh, and Kelvin Harmon went to the Bills, but I don't know if he made their 53. I'm not sure. So
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen throughout the NFL as the season goes on. Like, if someone pops a serious injury to on their team, like anyone can be recalled. Fuck, like look at John Sally in the NBA. Like he ended up coming back after 22 fucking years. Like there's blokes out there that'll put their hands up if there's only 4 more games to go, 5 more games to go. Oh shit, Washington signed Marshawn Lynch, just to help out in the backfield. Like, where did he come from? Oh, he didn't play in the fucking preseason. Like, the coaches and the general managers are looking out for players that are going to fit in the side later on in the year. Anything can happen.
hmm. Yeah, well, look, there was some. If you want to just break down this 53 roster with me, like, was there anything on it that stood out to you as shocking, or like, were you just happy with um, what Rivera decided with,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Mayhew?
I
I'll throw
didn't.
Mayhew into that too. I mean, he makes the decisions.
Yeah. Oh, look. Yeah, but I mean, look, Rivera is the head coach. Uh, Mayhew will be held responsible when he needs to be. Uh, I really just wanted to see some improvement on that wide receiver and linebacker position, and
Mm.
I think I got that. I got rid of the blokes that I complained about most of the last year. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
um, Sims, and good luck to him, Isaiah Wright, but he was just a little bit too soft, I thought. Including AGG, who is back on the practice squad. He may develop. But I got tired of the young blokes.
Mm. Oh well, look, yeah. I mean, I was kind of like excited to see uh, AGG if he did make it, um, just to see, because he looked decent in the preseason, and he's got a good, nice, big frame, and he's got good hands. Looks like he's got decent hands, and yeah, with a decent quarterback, consistent quarterback play this year, it would have been interesting. But I mean, he might still get his chance, of course, and
Yeah,
it's not
oh,
like
that's
he
right.
won't.
I mean,
But I'm also now excited to see um, Dax Milne, like, and see what he's got, because he made a couple of nice catches too in the preseason. So um,
mm,
yeah, I'm not
yeah,
really familiar with him. Like, did we draft him or what?
yeah, he was a draft pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and I think I mentioned it on our last show that we aired that the Washington had like 23 or 27 different blokes catching the football last year, and that just really probably shows that we weren't confident enough to go with a couple of blokes who really should be catching the majority of the balls. So, really looking forward to an improvement in that part of the game this year. Really excited for Ryan Fitzpatrick to just let loose and have some fun. We're going to go and do this. We've got some momentum behind us. So we should go into that game with confidence. Like I don't care what um you know what kind of feelings that the bookies and the fantasy football players have about the team, but we're going to go in there with still that momentum of last year, and hopefully that can carry on to a few wins.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's almost a little bit scary that the fact that like a few of these, expert analysts have actually given us, said, "Oh, we're going to win the NFC East," or "We've got the best defense in the league," and that worries me a little bit too because I'm not used to that, I guess. But um, I just finished saying before how no one's ever given us much, um, reason to be excited in the preseason before, like except us. We've always been optimistic, but you look at around the league over the last 20 years, and you couldn't find one book or one analyst that said, "Yeah, we're going to be, great." Or so to hear it, makes me a bit nervous. Well, I will admit I'm a bit nervous, and I worry about like the expectations being too high, and then if we don't reach them, what we lose from it, and the shit that's going to go flying around in Twitter land and all that stuff and all those
Oh,
fans and
I mean, strap in. It won't always be as tense as it seems. We saw it last year that it actually takes 16 weeks to play out. So you need to make sure that you are totally calm about the situation and do analyze it. Um,
mm,
but yeah, I mean, it is on. Like you can forget about like throw all this calmness out the window. Um, I'll probably have a damn heart attack uh, on week one. Like you know, it's going to be it's going to be pretty tense. I want them to do well. I'm
mm.
also I'm prepared that I know that it might not, I'm happy to give it time. Now I do want people to understand that if it doesn't go well, stick with the fucking team, man. Like the new shit's happening. Like
Well, we've said this before. I mean, we might have a season where we don't make the playoffs, but like if we can just see something that like signs of something growing, there's something building here, then well, there is reason to be optimistic about the next season because look, if we don't win the division, we're not playing all the top teams again, the starters. We're gonna, be in that first 13 or whatever top 13 draft pick, and we can go and
yeah,
get someone else who's gonna be,
oh, Eli Manning's fucking brother.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I do.
the good things can come out of it. Like how many teams do you see that we know are pretty good, but they didn't have a good year, and then you watch the drafts and you're like, fuck off. Fucking, how did New Orleans get the seventh pick, like, and they're bringing in some fucking stud, and you're like, shit, that's
And
going to make them
how
dangerous.
many times do you watch professional sports and you see that bloke who's played the game for 10, 12, 14 years just, you know, making it look easy and, everyone's, like, wow, like what a good pickup. What about that Phoenix Suns point guard? Like everyone had given up on him. He's a fucking solid baller for what, 14, 12 years, and he comes in and leads the Suns
Hmm.
to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, there's no
Oh,
reason
yeah.
that, Fitzpatrick can't do that kind of shit. Like, I'm not fucking, I'm not jumping up and down telling everybody he can, but I'm very excited that we're going to have the chance, to just let it fucking sling, man. Give it a go.
No,
Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? He's not going to be our quarterback for the next fucking 5 years. Well, if he wins three in a row, he well might be, but you know, his time's coming to an end, and let's fucking get behind him. And if
oh,
he
well.
needs to be benched, mentioned.
I think people are behind him. I just think there's a bit of a Taylor Heineke cult following, and rightly so. I mean, look, we all love Heineke. We all think Heineke's mad, but we all know that Fitzpatrick's the better option at
Yeah.
starter. What are you wearing?
No, I don't have my Heineke shirt
Oh,
yet. I'm just giving me Chase Young.
oh,
And Chase
right.
Young is like, Heineke.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I
no,
was like,
we do. We do all love Heineke. Uh,
sneaky Taylor Heineke jersey on me or something here.
oh,
Um,
we might see Taylor Heineke uh, paraphernalia later on in the season. Who knows?
right. Stay tuned. Yeah, but I think the smarter heads in the fan base understand that Fitzpatrick gives us the best opportunity to win. But it's nice to know that you know if we need to call on Heineke, then we'll get excited because he'll be coming in and doing his thing. Like
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
we've got that in our back pocket. It's fine. I don't know if Heineke can be sustainable for 17, 16 games or whatever, and lead us to the promised land. But it would have to be one of those like hell of a runs, like that you wouldn't even dream about. But like he's so unknown, Heineke. Like even what he's given us in his short time, like once the tape's out on him after half a season, it's going to get harder for him, isn't it? Like,
Oh yeah. No, we don't know what's going to happen. Like Fitzpatrick might, you know, it's a 17-week season, 17-week schedule this year. So
mm,
Fitzpatrick's got to play 17 games, um, and then get us into the playoffs. So by all said and done, that means Fitzpatrick's going to have to have started 20 straight games. The
it's
chance of
unheard of
that,
in Washington.
yeah, like like that's right. Like
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a
we've got to
quarterback to
be, we've
start
got to
20.
be, we it's real talk here on Skinsfanatic. But
Always.
right now, Fitzpatrick hasn't done a thing wrong. He's the starter, and we're going to fucking ride or die with him, until it gets to that stage where it's like shit. We want to make the playoffs this year. We've got a good enough side, but our offense isn't good enough. So that would be the only reason, unless
Mm.
there's an injury, you know. Um, so look, fucking put your big boy pants on. I mean, the fucking season's about to kick off. We all know how it goes, don't we? You know,
Oh, yeah, we do.
you you got
I've got
the 1-2 record that looks ominous, and everyone's like, we're not going to make the playoffs this year. Sack him.
yeah.
Oh, calm down. We're 1-2.
I mean, even after the failed 2-point conversion against the Giants last year, it was like, well, settle down, everybody. We're fucking a game out of the lead of the division now. Like,
Yeah,
would have been nice to have been on top of the division after that day, and we probably would have been, but on our fucking 2-4 record or whatever the fuck it would have been, like I don't know, but I can't remember what week that was. Like week 3 or something, wasn't it? I don't know. Anyway,
no, I think it might have been about week 4 or 5. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it was early.
It was the end of the world after that, wasn't it? It was like, Vera's got to go, and it was ridiculous. Uh, I admired the call. Of course, it was one of those things where it's like, fucking yeah, let's go, let's get it, let's beat these fuckers. Like this will be a great win. And then after it fails, you're like, well, in hindsight, we should have kicked the extra point. And well, at least we would have had a chance in overtime. It's like, well, to me, that was overtime. It was overtime. We had the fucking ball at the 2 yard line or the 1 yard line, and we had one play to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it
Look,
comes down
there's a
to.
lot of there's a lot of NFL coaches with some big balls, uh, and Ron Rivera is one of them. And you're gonna have to get used to it that sometimes his gambles won't pay off.
I
Look,
mean, who knows? Rivera might have been feeling the effects of his fucking chemo that day, and he was probably just like, "Fuck, man! Like, I just want to get the fuck out of here and go and lay down." Like,
there was some bad, yeah, there was some bad shit going on, just with the energy uh, around the head coach, how he was feeling last
yeah,
year. Not so
but
much on his
you could see at the arse end of the season that he had, when he was cleared of his cancer and he wasn't doing his treatment, that he had a different energy to him, Rivera. Like, and I don't know. That's what I sensed.
Oh no, he does.
Maybe
And
I'm wrong.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I've seen some of it last year, and I want to see more of it. Like fuck, I remember watching Washington Carolina, and I wanted to jump into that fucking TV and grab Ron Rivera by his fucking throat and strangle the fuck out of him and say, "How dare you go for that fucking 4th and 1 in your own half? Show some respect." But he
I feel
doesn't give
like that
a
every time.
fuck.
I
He
feel like
doesn't
that
give
every
a
time
fuck.
someone does it. No.
Oh, look, we're about to see. I think we should bring on R2 Ramu and start talking about this upcoming season. Um, is
I
he
think
not coming
R2's
on?
having some. He's having some technical
Oh,
difficulties.
okay. Okay,
Um,
don't let me lose my thought. Where was I? I was talking about Ron Rivera
yeah.
um, and how he makes bold calls. And look, Washington football team need to be aware of the Dallas Cowboys and their fucking stupid coach.
Oh,
Uh, you know,
McCarthy. Hmm.
Mike McCarthy, like
Hmm.
he was going for stupid shit last year that made him look like an absolute fucking fool.
I
He
swear that
he embarrassed himself.
that game against us. I remember I said it on the broadcast. Like, was he trying to lose his job that day? Like, was he like, "Oh fuck this, I'm out"? Like that fake. Because what did he do? He done like his Jim Zorn. He went for the fake field.
Yeah.
Didn't he like fake a
He went
punt and
for
then
a
it got
fake
caught
punt.
back and then he
He
tried
went
it
for a
again or
fake
something?
punt. He went for a 4th and 1 on his. He went for a 4th and 1 on our 40. Then he went for a 4th and 1 on his own 40, and then he faked a punt on his own 40. Like 3 4th and 1s, and it wasn't surprising to me because I watched him for the first 5 weeks. He tried that shit like in the earlier games, and he does it. He did it at Green
Hmm.
Bay, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it's a little bit different at Green
the
Bay when you've got
difference at Green
Rogers and
Bay, he had Aaron Rodgers running his fucking and doing it for him
yeah.
and fooling everybody. And if it wasn't going to
Look,
work, I'm going to snap the ball and get a penalty anyway. But yeah, I would
McCarthy's a
expect.
fucking McCarthy's a fucking fraud, Crazy Brave. He's a
I
fucking
hope so.
fraud.
I hope so. I hope so. Where do you have Dallas in the division? Because right now, um, yeah, they're a
Well,
bit of
look,
a concern. Who's your concern? Who's the biggest concern in the NFC East for you?
oh, the Giants. The Giants. Because the Giants usually always take care of Dallas. Like, we can take care of Dallas, but we can't take care of the Giants. So I am concerned about the Giants. But let me just speak on Dallas for a minute here. Dallas, to me, probably have the most talented roster in the NFC East. Probably more on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, their defense is a little bit glorified, or it isn't. It definitely look. It needs to prove itself this season. It was horse shit last year. Actually, it was dog shit last year. Dog shit's worse than horse shit. Um, it was dog shit last season. So I think they need to lose the mystique of being an elite team until they improve that defense. And Micah Parsons isn't going to make that change all of a sudden overnight. Um, he's going to be a good rookie. Looks like a pretty good rookie, and he's going to be someone to be worried about in the future. But well, you should be a little bit more worried about our defense in the future too, because we have some young studs. But yeah, well, Dallas have very good receivers. They have very capable quarterback. They have a pretty good running back, but he couldn't hold on to the ball last year, Zeke. So, and you know what? The also too, McCarthy doesn't run the ball. He doesn't run the ball. So I don't know. I don't rate McCarthy as a coach. I think Dallas would have
Well, it's hard
fucking
to. It's hard to rate McCarthy as a coach after his dog shit performance last year. I do totally understand that.
hmm,
Obviously,
like if we've all like they had some injuries and stuff, but like what he couldn't rally his team, like he couldn't rally them. They were horse shit, and
he's
and
not.
we fucking we destroyed them, didn't we?
He's not a motivator, is he?
No, no, they fucked up, man. Dallas should have got Rivera. That's if he wanted to go there, but if Dallas
Mm.
had Rivera, there might be a complete different story in Dallas. But no, they went and splurged, and Jerry Jones went and got McCarthy, and I just couldn't believe it. Really,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't
Well,
think
I
he's
mean,
that
look.
good.
Obviously, I do agree with you that the Giants are going to be a niggly, one of the nigglies this year. They're going to be up surprising everyone if it's not us. And if it is us, they're probably going to be on our fucking ass.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I can see it. But I, I have to be a little bit concerned about the Cowboys this year and what's going to happen. Not, you know, don't blow this portion and cut me up on the big screen and I think the Cowboys might go all right.
Oh, look, it's going to boil down to the health of their quarterback, really. Um, yeah, it's going to boil. It's simple. Like if Dak isn't 100%, man, like they're going to be
Yeah.
struggling. They're going to be struggling because they've got no one at backup.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to sign Cam Newton. There's a lot of talk about it. Um, unless I've missed something and he has signed somewhere, but from what I've heard,
Cam Newton. No, Dallas have signed Will Greer. I think they signed Will Greer. They Cam Newton. No, haven't signed. But obviously, we know we watched him last year. Cam Newton gone. Bye bye Cam. Um, yeah. So what else do we do? Can I have a little talk about? Maybe the NFC and AFC and a few other teams, or for a quick
yeah, go
minute.
for it. I mean, yeah, go for it. We'll pick my brain if you want to. I'm here. Answer any questions you have. Go for it. Take over.
Well, yeah, no, I just you know, as I'm saying. Like Roger Goodell got me, excited for the season, and I can't wait. And I've got there's so many matchups that I'm looking forward to throughout the divisions in the NFL. Uh, I like that AFC, sorry, the NFC West, which has always been tightly contested for the last couple of years. Rams, 49ers, and Seattle. Like, we have a huge contest right there. 49ers have had big injuries last year and were probably that team that everyone thought was going to be in the Super Bowl last year, the NFC. So there, I think the 49ers might be a team to watch this year. I know they're starting, or they're eventually going to get to their young quarterback. Here, Kyle Shanahan is going to try and actually use a system where he's actually using both quarterbacks. So he's actually
Yeah,
going to
when have
do
we
it.
ever seen that work though?
We've
When have we
never
ever
seen
seen
it.
that?
We've never
No.
seen it work. We've never seen it done.
Oh, we've
I
seen it
don't
sort
know.
of.
I don't know what it's going to prove, and it doesn't scare anyone because
Hmm.
it's pointless.
Yeah,
It's pointless. As soon as someone goes better than the other bloke, well, he's in there for the full. He's in there for the full game. I
yeah.
mean, not full. Um, but
I had a
yeah,
thought on the
I mean,
49ers.
that should
So
be
let me
a
just.
real vision.
Yeah, I just had a thought on the 49ers the other day. I'm like, you watch them start Garoppolo and him actually play really well and make it hard for them to make the change, you know? A little bit like when, Fitzpatrick and Tua. I was like, Fitzy's playing really well. And it's like, well, they were too keen to sort of get the rookie in where, see Kansas City, they done the same with Alex Smith, but they let actually Alex Smith play out the year, knowing damn well that they weren't going to get much worse with Mahomes in there anyway, probably. But yeah, I think we know the writing's on the wall for Jimmy G at 49ers, but I saw a little bit of him in the preseason, and he looks like he's rejuvenated a little bit, and I'll be interested to see what happens there in the 40 at San Francisco. I
Yeah,
really am.
I do think that they are a well coached team.
Mm.
That's what I do have to give them uh, the respect of putting them as a playoff contender. Um, you know,
Yeah, no doubt.
and then we've got changes in the NFC Central. Jared Goff has come from the LA Rams and will now be the Detroit Lions quarterback. Um, and the Chicago Bears will be starting Dalton in the first week, but they have drafted a young
Justin
quarterback
Fields.
in Justin Fields.
Mm.
So with the Lions, definitely not the best team in that Central Division, but what are we going to see from the Packers this year? Fucking Aaron Rodgers has been carrying on like he's been portrayed to be carrying on like a little bitch. To be honest, I don't
Yeah,
know his game is, but you know, and
I love Aaron Rodgers, man. Like if it's the playoffs and it's in Green Bay and like it ain't against us, like I'm there, man. I love it. I love watching Aaron Rodgers play. Like he's to me, he's the best quarterback in the league. Like, and he might only have the one Super Bowl, but fuck, man, he's so fucking clutch. Like, you know, and I reckon Green Bay's going to be pretty good. They're sneaky little
yeah,
fucks, man. Green Bay, but
yeah,
as long as they've
he's
got
not your
Rodgers,
ordinary everyday fool.
oh yeah, as long as they've got Rodgers, And they did bring. They got obviously Devontae Adams, and they brought back Cobb. They got him back on a trade. Rogers
Yeah.
basically he done that
Hmm.
when he said, "Oh, well, here's what we're going to do,"
Yeah.
and everyone's listening to Aaron Rodgers now because he, you know, told everyone he wanted out. Now he's got the
Yeah.
upper hand. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that can be a real interesting division, like Green Bay,
mm,
Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago. Like, not obviously the Aaron Rodgers factor is going to be Green Bay favourites, but
yeah,
that one's not going to be decided until the end of the year. And then,
yeah. That's a two-horse race for me. I mean, but I think I'm giving that division to Green Bay, like you said. But I'll be interested to see how Minnesota go. I really am. Like they dropped off last year, but we know they got a pretty good team.
mm, yeah, they do.
You know, Minnesota's interesting, very interesting. I think you know, obviously they've got Dalvin Cook, very good running back, and Anthony Phelan and Kirk Cousins, and their
They,
defense is
they,
pretty sound. And,
they could be one of the teams that we're not talking about that
mm,
might be there at the late end of the season.
yeah, no doubt. And yeah, I mean, you can put a line through Detroit. Um, as much as they have Jared Goff, I think um, that's a downgrade to me. So you know they were better off with Stafford. But
And
I don't
then,
know what
and then we have
Braves. I mean, Artu's joining us, but
then we have Tampa Bay looking to go two straight Super Bowls in a row,
mm,
and you know they're in that the South Division with Falcons and the Saints and Panthers. I've got to fucking say I can't see anybody knocking off Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year from fucking dog shit division. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Tell
no,
me it's
look,
not a dog shit division. I'm only putting it down, I'm fucking,
oh, it is. It is pretty much dog shit. I mean, like if the Saints still had Breeze, you could say, yeah, you give them a good chance. I don't know how well James Winston go there and big easy, but Sean Payton has been renowned to be somewhat of a good coach. So I don't know.
it's a cheeky bar.
They're I've probably got them maybe playoff bound, the
Mm.
Saints, but hard to
Is
say.
what is it 17s in the playoffs
Yeah, yeah,
this year?
same as
So
last season.
you're gonna have three wild card teams.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna have one of those teams from that shitty division probably uh, at loggerheads with second or third place in the NFC East.
Yeah, but, I don't know what's going to happen. I think the only division I don't know. Like Minnesota, are they going to make the playoffs? I don't know. Tampa Bay will, Green Bay will. Uh, you know, we'll probably only have one playoff team out of our division. I reckon. Tough to say. Uh, what about the Rams? I don't know what R2's doing. Like, would like to get his take on his division, but
Well, I mean, it'd be hard to count the Rams out just with the fact that they have Matthew Stafford. I mean, that almost puts them in the playoffs right now. So who we do, we've talked about the 49ers. Look, Seattle and uh, that gum chewing fucking prick, Pete Carroll. He's going to be trying his hardest to
Mm.
stop Arizona. You know, they talk up the NFC West like it's the most exciting division in the NFL, and it very well might be. I mean, they play great football out there, and if you know you're not keeping up with it, like you should be. Um,
Yeah,
but
look,
you know,
Seattle's going to be tough with Wilson,
you know,
Metcalf,
yeah,
Wilson. Like Seattle, still tough, man, and they have their 12th man this season, which I'm sure they will.
it's going to
No
be
one's,
a real tight race for that seventh wild card spot this year, I believe.
hmm.
Real tight.
Oh, it's going to be interesting as hell. Do you have any sort of smokies in the NFC that you think might surprise a few people?
Uh, I just think that Jalen Hurts might be on the verge of becoming the next NFL superstar. Hopefully not at our expense, uh, but I do think, I don't know, like it's hard for me because I give the Giants respect and I give the Cowboys respect, but uh, I've got to give the Eagles some respect too, and they're all the teams we play in the division. But yeah, I'm a little bit shit scared about the Eagles coming good. It's probably they would be my dark horse because we haven't seen Hurts play the full season. So yeah, darkies for me, Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not unusual to be a little bit concerned about some of the teams in our division. I mean, we've sat here and said, well, Dallas has probably. Well, I sat here and said Dallas has probably got the most talent, and then I said, well, the Giants are mongrels, and you know, and then you're worried about the Eagles. I mean,
It's
it's
hard.
52 minutes into the show, and we've only just mentioned the Eagles, but. Um, yeah, look, I'm not going to give the Eagles any respect right now to me because they were shit last year. They've got a new coach. I don't know, man. Yeah, they could be all right, but they got to prove it. They got to prove themselves. They got a lot of work to do. I think Philadelphia, they were falling apart last year. It was embarrassing, and
Yeah,
they've been falling apart too. Like in my opinion, since the Super Bowl. Fuck knows how they won a Super Bowl, man. God, that hurts.
the team that I want to see do well in the NFC that is not associated with Washington would be, you know, the Bears. Probably, I'm excited to see what the Bears can do. Hopefully, as I say, hopefully not at fucking expense of us. Like
Yeah,
I hope I'm running. I hope that Washington's running the competition that I don't even have to fucking worry about being excited about seeing some good football. I just want to see my team fucking win. Once.
yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, look, I reckon you're right. I reckon the Chicago would be hella exciting to see. Like if you know, um, what's his name, Justin Fields starts balling out, um, and we've seen what he's capable of, man, in the preseason. Like he's looks pretty good,
yeah,
and yeah, I can understand that. Like seeing him playing some big games or getting the playoffs and playing a big playoff game, that'd definitely be something to tune into for sure. Um,
yeah, I know. And do you know where the Super Bowl is this year? Do you know where
um,
have you? Got that information?
Oh, not right now. No,
Hmm.
not right
Yeah,
now.
like if Washington don't make if Washington don't make the Super Bowl, which I haven't made that prediction on this show tonight, um, yeah, I'd like to see the Bears like in a game there, like on the grass, on some fucking grass in Miami. I might even get on the grass myself,
Oh, I know
I
where
don't
it
want to
is.
see
It's at
where is it?
SoFi Stadium. Yeah, it's in LA. SoFi.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have grass, don't they?
No,
Or is it AstroTurf?
art- artificial grass. Yeah.
Artificial. Yeah, every
Yeah.
time the Bears seem to make the fucking Super Bowl, it's on artificial turf. Like, is it? I
Nah,
can't.
the
Who,
Bears
the
played.
Colts? The Colts?
That was in
Yeah, that might.
Miami. That was on grass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Bears are fucked.
Or
Yeah. Moving on. How about the AFC with the AFC East? Like, how good is that uh, tuning out to be? Buffalo
yeah.
really establishing themselves as top threat to the Patriots,
Yeah.
who didn't even win the division last year. But let's be honest, we still want to see what the Patriots are going to do this season.
Oh, look, I've got Buffalo winning that division. Um, I've got Buffalo reigning supreme in that division for the next 4 or 5 years or whatever. To be honest, as long as Allen's there and they seem to be making a lot of a lot of good moves over there in Buffalo. So yeah, I don't know. They Patriots have got a unproven quarterback.
Oh, it should
Um,
be a real exciting division. Fuck, Zach Wilson has come in for the New York Jets. He looks like he's going to add some excitement. I don't know whether he's going to be able
mm,
to keep the Bills. I would say obviously not in his first
yeah,
season, uh,
Soisen. Mm,
season. But yeah, there's still going to be that race between the Bills. Miami will be fighting,
yeah,
and
uh,
Belichick
yeah.
will be being a bitch. Belichick's going to still be a bitch.
Oh yeah. Look, he's a prick. They're gonna be around. They were average last year, and then it was like fuck, they're gonna make the playoffs, And thankfully they didn't. But just on Zach Wilson, yeah, I he's the one that I wanted to get. I remember um, sending you a message. I was watching him play, and I was like, "Let's get this fella. Look at this." I said, "Turn over to ESPN now. Watch this fella. This Wilson fella. He's fucking awesome. Just such a nice touch on that ball, like very fluent way he rolls out, and he's just flicking it and
Ooh, he's got
precision." I was like,
style.
"Wow, this dude." Um, and
Fool's got a
I'm happy for
spiral.
I'm happy for the Jets, man. Like they look like they might have a quarterback, and they might actually be worth actually tuning in to watch. Like because the Jets have been not much of a trump card for me when it's like, oh, who should I watch if I can't, if I can catch another game in that time slot, who can I watch? I'm like, Jets, fucking Jets, you know.
Yeah, no, it's hard to get excited about them, especially when the Giants own them. And you're probably more interested in seeing the Giants result than you are the Jets, and you're not going to, if you don't get the Giants result, then you're not going to fucking watch the Jets game. Like, it's just, yeah, it would be nice and nostalgic for the NFL to see the Jets come good, but it's going to take time for those
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, look, they'd probably only win 3 or 4 games, but yeah, I'm not saying the Jets are going to win the division, but I think they've got themselves something to build off. I reckon with Zach Wilson, and Yeah, R2's all over the Browns. So.
The Browns. Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, what have we got? The Browns in
Browns, Steelers, yeah,
the AFC North. So in the North, we've got the Browns, we've got the Steelers, uh,
Bungles,
the Bengals,
the
and
Ravens.
the Ravens.
Mm.
Well, I mean, look, I probably do agree with R2 there. You know, the Browns have been more consistent than most teams. The Bengals showed flashes last year. Jim Harbaugh was too much of a gambler for my liking.
Mm.
Uh, he's going to end up, you know, uh, fucking himself up his own ass. Uh, oh, he does. You know,
Oh, he
he'll
loves it.
find a way to do it too.
Mm.
He loves it that much. Um, and then yeah, like the Steelers, which have run the shit for what 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a good race. That will be a good, exciting race. I hope that the Bengals can get up there themselves and push uh, Pittsburgh. You know,
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm not convinced.
and the
I
Browns.
count the Bungles
Pittsburgh are
out
going
for
to
me.
lose.
It's a
Yeah,
3 horse race in that division, and it's actually pretty close to me. I don't know who's going to win that division. My If I was going to place some money on it, it'd be hard to go past Jackson and the Ravens. But hey, look, the Browns, man. Fucking what's his name? Baker. He's make Baker Mayfield. He's had a good year last year. They got fucking Chubb. They got Beckham and fucking Landry and all that shit. They've got some players, man. They've got fucking what's his name? The defensive end, Miles Garrett. You know, actually, give me
yeah.
the Browns in that division. That's a pretty good team they got over there. So, we're not that we're making predictions here, but I guess we
We're
could
not
always go.
making. We are. This doesn't appear to be a prediction show. You can follow that on crazybrave74.com, which will be establishing itself as the season progresses. But um, yeah, this we're just chewing fat here because you know we can't have a prediction show. We might have one next week.
Oh, nah. Well, look, we
Need
we
7 days.
we skipped last week's show, and look, I didn't have time to think about it. But look, I have given you my predictions pretty much tonight, and I don't think they're
Exactly,
going.
exactly.
I don't think
If
they're
you're
going
not
to
picking
change.
up on our predictions, then God help you. You know,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
following the English language. I mean, we just told you who's going to win the fucking Super Bowl.
yeah. No, this is a prediction show. R2's right. I
Well,
mean,
I
look,
mean, some people, yeah. I mean, like I said, pay attention. You
pay
know,
attention.
people probably should be paying attention. And what about the AFC South? We've got uh, Jacksonville Jaguars. With
Mm.
Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick, as well as help me out, Skinsfanatic, the AFC South with
Titans and
Tennessee
Jags, Texans, Colts.
and the Texans and Indianapolis. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, we all it's all fun and well to laugh at Urban Meyer at this stage of the season, but we're waiting for kickoff. And you know, I'm not saying he's going to be the best thing. I know how these college blokes work out in the NFL, actually firsthand, because I followed Steve Spurrier, who was one of the first pioneer of
Well,
college football coaches coming into the professional ranks.
Well, you're forgetting like Jimmy Johnson. He was
Oh,
probably
I know. There, I am forgetting Jimmy Johnson playing the Skinsfanatic. No, I know. I'm missing a lot of blokes.
yeah,
Um, you know,
Pete Carroll. Mm. No, I hear though. I mean, look, yeah, he's got to prove himself. He was a great coach in college, and now he's an NFL coach, and he's got the shitty Jags to deal with, and he's got the young quarterback, and yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not. If you want me to make a prediction on who's going to win this division, to me, it's very fucking obvious who's going to win this division. It's the Titans. Texans have got their issues there with fucking their quarterback. Don't even know what the hell's going on there. Um, his hand jobs in the massage parlor and shit. The Colts have quarterback issues, like because Carson, for starters, they've got Carson Wentz, but I
yeah,
mean he's
second
not
half of the
healthy to
season.
start the year. He's not out for the year. He's going to be back, but it might be too little, too late by the time he comes back. And he is Carson Wentz, so it's not like they're banking on fucking Joe Montana to come back or something like.
No, that's right.
Um, yeah, that's an easy one for me. I'm taking the Titans on this. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Titans. For me.
it's not necessarily a prediction show, but I will bank on the Titans heavily myself. Uh, Derek Henry, I believe, is trying to become the first running back uh, to go over 1,500 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. No running backs,
Oh, shit.
yeah, since 1932. So we know what year 1932 is. We can see it behind Skinsfanatic's left shoulder. It's the year the Washington football team was established. No running back in the history of the game has run for 1,500 or more yards in 3 consecutive seasons. Derek Henry is probably on target to do them. I would really recommend that. If anyone is too scared to um, put their balls on the line, well, then just go the safe bet and uh, back the Titans because they will probably be there at the later stage of the season.
Hmm. And it's isn't it funny? Like Ryan Tannehill, he didn't start off very well and in his career, and he came in the same year as RG3 and um, um, who was that Neanderthal dude that played for the Colts? Forgetting his name. Luck.
Jim
Um,
Harbaugh,
no, no, Andrew Luck.
but Jim,
Uh,
yeah, luck.
but now he's like considered, like top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Ryan Tannehill, like he is, he's really turned his career around in Tennessee. It's
Yeah,
great to see, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league, man. Like every week, your team's going up against somebody, aren't they? Like,
yeah, and they're actually an exciting team to watch. The Titans,
hmm,
they produce every week, so they'll be one of the teams that I'm keeping an eye on next year. And then
yeah.
what we've got the AFC West. We've got Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. You know,
Can I just say something before we go into that
move on.
division? I just wanted to say something about the Titans. Like, how fucking good was it that year, man, when the Titans, like the Music City Miracle, you know, year, and that Titans team that year was fantastic, wasn't it? Like, and they went to the Super Bowl against the Rams and shit. That was, they just
Mm.
become the Titans not long after that. And Steve Air McNair, and I don't mind the Titans. They're all right. They're all right with me.
Yeah, the Music City, like that's it. I
Mm.
mean, we
Like
need
we were there.
more. Um,
Yeah, we need that. That were the good
like
old days.
they, the, we get bogged down in the Dallas Cowboys and um, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm losing myself uh, geographically.
Mm.
Tennessee is not in the state of Texas. Carry on, Skinsfanatic.
No, I was just getting a little bit nostalgic, and R2's with me. He knows where I'm at. Remember being at the Birches watching that Music City Miracle. It was classic times. Yeah,
It
no, we're
was
moving
great.
on.
It was
Yeah, they were.
really great times. Yeah, absolutely. No, the Titans had some exciting defensive backs back then,
Mm.
and you know, obviously, uh, it was tough to lose the Houston Oilers. I thought, it's a little bit devastating, but the Titans filled the void fairly quickly, and
Mm.
hopefully, I think that's what the Washington football teams slowly doing as well. It's going to take time, you know, but we are gathering some respect. There's still some people who want to bring us down and try to breaking news. Uh, Washington has announced um, Ryan Fitzpatrick will be the starting quarterback for week one, like we've been fucking debating it all fucking
Yeah,
season.
I know.
Like, give us a
QB
break.
one. I know.
We're not stupid, us
I know.
Washington fans. We knew from day one that
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, don't fucking try to bait us and then turn around in 6 fucking months' time and go, ha ha ha, it didn't work. What were you so excited about? Anyway, I don't want to fucking regress and get into that shit tonight. But
No, I agree. I
I
agree with
see
what you're
the,
saying.
I see some of the dirty tactics. I can't explain it right now, but there's dirt tactics.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I saw it too. I was like, oh, like it flashed up on my phone like it was breaking news, and I was like, oh, what's happened? Fuck, Fitzpatrick's been hurt or something. Oh no, he's starting quarterback. Well, no shit, we saw that. Who doesn't know that? You didn't sign him for fucking $10 million for him to sit on the bench.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers.
yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
Do you want to have a go first there?
Oh, well, look, yeah, sure. I think out of this division, well, it's if you take the Chiefs out of this division, it's very interesting. I think the Chargers are probably closest to challenging the Chiefs. Um, and that's what Crazy Rage. I mean, R2's just asked me who got closest to the Chiefs. Well, yeah, the Chargers. Um, Herbert and we talked about the Chargers. We know what they've got. They've got some good players, and they deserve to be talked about as being up there in that division.
Yeah, well, they'll probably get 15, 20 minutes next Friday. So, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so we won't harp on about them. The Denver Broncos. As I like to see Denver, have a good season. I miss like playoff games in Denver. I like seeing Denver, you know, being a good team. Like Denver, they're up there and they've got some good players, man, and they can get that quarterback working. Teddy Bridgewater, he's been announced the starter. Um, yeah, I think Denver can beat a few teams next season. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to be the hardest to beat. set a standard in that division at the moment, rightly so. So, I mean, obviously, I've got the Chiefs to win that division, um, but I think maybe one of those other teams could be in the playoffs. You know, probably the Chargers. They're going to be hard to beat, especially week one. But what do you got?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Um, the LA Chargers seem to be moving in the right direction, and then they inexplicably had gone and sacked their head coach from last season, which may carry on to be some
Mm,
kind of concern, or there's some kind of change of play. They're a team to be wary of. I don't know how scared we should be of them just yet. The Chiefs, probably, they're your favourites once again, and unless they cop an injury. We all know Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not taking any credit away from the rest of the Chiefs blokes, like the 50, the rest of the 52, like well deserved to be, you know, Super Bowl champions out of the last, two seasons. What is it? Two straight Super Bowls now for the Chiefs.
yeah, they've only got one. They
Yeah,
lost last year.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and there was a period there where we hadn't seen the Chiefs in the Super Bowl for 50 odd years, and they've made the last two.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't want to call them a one-man team, but a lot hinges on Pat Mahomes, and it does. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Um, the Broncos, yeah. What is it with the Broncos that we all love? Like, is it just seeing the football in the mountain air and the on the grass and
Mm.
pumpkins? It's just, oh, it's
Well, I
great.
love their stadium. I love their stadium, man. I reckon the
It's
stadium's one of the best in the league, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
they get all conditions. It's
mm,
windy, it can be rainy, it can be snowy, it can
mm.
be bogged down in snow.
It looks
Uh,
picturesque in the beginning, like at the early stage of the season. Like it's got that
Yeah,
when the sun's shining on it, it's like, oh wow, it's a beautiful day in Denver.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably got a chill factor to it. I don't know. I've never been to Denver, Colorado, but you have. But you were there in when November.
No, I
You were
was
there
in
in
there in November, and I can report to you that
freezing.
it is as picturesque as what you see it on TV. Like, ah,
Yeah,
really, yeah, an amazing place to be at. And they do love their football there. There's no doubt.
well,
Like,
you went to the old Mile High Stadium, and
yeah,
and from what I've seen, that place was a piece of shit. But
it was actually
but
a
it's
piece
part
of
of
shit
history.
when we were there too.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's a
it
piece of
wouldn't.
NFL history, though. It would have been awesome. Like,
That's right. No, very, fun times. Um,
mm,
yeah. So yeah, but everyone gets captured by the Colorado mountains. It's almost impossible to do, and I don't think that it has anything to do with football, but it really, like when you get down to it, and you're watching it on Sunday, it does. Like you just love
yeah.
atmosphere and
Mm. Well, it's
seeing.
one of the things I'm looking forward to about this season is the fans being back in there and having that atmosphere because that's what I like about when I watch sport or I'm at an event is like the atmosphere. Like that's the shit you go there and it sends chills down your spine and you want more of it. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
like I can
And that,
watch sport without fans, but and I was just engaged last year in the game, but like it's so much different, man. When you're on the road.
mm,
Being on the road last year just didn't feel like we were on the road. It was just like, oh,
no,
it's a game of
because
footy.
look, that's right. Like, you know, we know what sport's about. It's uh, contact and it's aggression, and that's not something that we should discourage. Like, we should get excited about that. And
Mm.
yeah, there's nothing more exciting than seeing a fucking 80,000 people pumping up to just, fucking hit that quarterback for once.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, I mean, I don't, you probably agree with me on this, but like, how good is it when you, like, road wins, like when you go into a stadium and you shut every motherfucker up, man, that's the best, that's the
Mm.
best place to be. Like, you walk out of that fucking thing, like, you know, just feeling fantastic. It's the best, basically.
It is the best, and we need to win in New York, and we need to
Mm.
win in Philadelphia, and we need to win in Dallas. You know, give
Yeah.
me give me 2 wins out of those 3 games, and give me 3 of 3 at home,
Mm.
and set me up because
Yeah.
you know, Crazy Brave has got shit coming in from overseas. He's got jerseys, shirts, he's got hats, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get that shit 6 weeks into the season when everyone's going to give up on him, and I'll be the only prick fucking wearing my shit for that fucking week, you know,
Well, I'm
and
not going to give.
I'm on it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be passionate. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be on Skinsfanatic Live calling for Heineke to start next week. I'm
Well, then you can put your Heineke shirt on.
not a quarterback whinger. I really aren't. Like, that's not my go. I'm not going to be on here calling for Fitzpatrick, or probably not. Like, I'd say that's 70% chance that I won't be calling for Fitzpatrick this season to get benched. In other words, um, you're not going to hear me calling.
Well, this might be a prediction show, but like you didn't have to make that prediction right now. I mean, we've got weeks to go, week by week, and we never know what could change. We could be calling Fitzpatrick. Fuck, man. Old Fitzy's fucking done his dash, man. He can't play anymore.
I just
So,
look. I will get angry. I will, if we're not completing the simple passes that we need to be, and if he doesn't see it, and I will call it. But I'm not anticipating that. I think it's a good signing. You know, like,
no,
let's
I'm
be
not
honest.
anticipating. Look, Fitzy can go out one week and just ball the fuck out, man, and he will, and it's going to be great. And like we know that he can be a little bit tragic sometimes, Fitzy, but
Mhm.
like we might have a good enough defense that he can come out and be tragic sometimes, or a good enough running game that we don't need him to be magic every game. It's every time like let's not compare every game that he's played in his career to what he's got now. Like let's you know we'll we've got like Santana said on that interview with Kevin, like They've a lot of things that we haven't seen in the preseason that they're just sitting back on that we've got. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah. I mean, exactly. We know that. We know that. I mean,
Hmm.
the best result for this Washington team is we know we've already know the names and the numbers of the players who will perform this season. Uh, 99 and 17, Chase Young and Terry McLaurin, but we really need someone else to break bad this year. You know, we need someone to just come out and just go, yeah. What about me? Like, fuck. You got these other blokes, but I've just come out of the fucking woodwork, and here's my name, here's my number. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
and
out.
you know who that's you know who I reckon that's going to be. I mean, he's an established name, but like, you know who that's going to be this year? Fucking
Probably
Landon,
started Ryan
Landon
Fisher.
Collins. Landon Collins, man. You watch Landon Collins beat Sean Taylor this season.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a very interesting story. Landon Collins. He's first year at Washington, coached under uh, Jay Gruden and a defensive coordinator who recently fired. Um, and then last season, was we were excited about seeing what he's got under Ron Rivera, and he only got to play 2 games. And people forget that he did even play those 2 games. Uh, but what they do remember is him getting stepped by um,
Mm.
Kyler Murray in the Arizona game, but they don't remember it was last year. They think it was in his previous year. They People do not understand Landon Collins and where he's at right now. I do actually agree with you that he might be ready uh, for a big season. Like, fuck, man, like he got stepped by Kyler Murray, and then on the second drive, he came up and made the interception,
Mm.
totally redeemed himself,
Yep.
and um, Haskins dropped the snap on the following play, and we turned the ball over straight after Landon Collins made an interception and almost returned it for a touchdown. We were about to fucking make that 7-all, and Haskins had issues with the center, and we fumbled that ball. And
Yep.
then, you know, 10 minutes later, we're down fucking 21-0, and everyone's given up. It's week 2, and then
Yep.
Collins tears his ACL, and I've got Twitter fuckwits telling me his career's done.
No,
No.
they were. I got people saying, "Oh, thank God, like he's hurt. Thank God
Oh,
he's not out there anymore." I'm
oh,
like, you serious? Have a look at the
oh.
depth on our team. Like, yeah, cool. We got to see what some of these other guys could do, but are you seriously telling me that we're better off with him not out being out there? Come on now, wake the fuck up. I I,
I
I
mean,
couldn't believe it.
there were a lot of blokes who would have been stepped by Kyler Murray on that Sunday. It was the second week of the season. There were no preseason games last year.
Mm.
Arizona were fucking playing games. You know, there were they they were having fun. They they got to a stage they were having fun, and it made it look at the end. It was like one of those fucking preseason games that you just wanted to turn off because it was just fucking shit.
Yeah, no, yeah, the Arizona game wasn't fun to watch. I agree, but yeah, you were right. Um, yeah, Collins he got the short stick that year from the last year from the fan base,
He
and
played
look,
two games.
I understand he's not one of those ball hawking like you know he's not his pass coverage might not be the best, but and everyone wanted to see him switch to linebacker because look he is good down there in the box and making tackles, stopping the run like, but he's not going to change his position, but I think this year he's going to be played a bit more as like a bit of a hybrid because I heard a stat yesterday that um, on 65% of our snaps last season on defense, we only had two linebackers out on the field anyway. So this whole decision to keep four, and then we brought back David Mayo um, after we cut him. We, so it's like we play that Buffalo nickel they call it now, and we've got like fucking five DBs out there. Um, Khalik Hudson and Landon Collins and Cam Curl and all them, they're going to be like playing, sniffing around down there inside that box, stopping that run, like. And then you've got, we're going to have St. Juice and all those Ben Juice, as they call him. Um, like I'm excited. Like I don't feel like we saw, like you said, I don't feel like we saw what Landon Collins could really do for this defense last year with him being out, and if we got to see him the rest of the year, like who knows what we could have been back there with Curl and all those boys. Like, and we don't forget we've got Bobby
Um,
McCain now from Miami. We've got like, man,
under Jack
I'm telling you,
under Jack Del Rio, we need to see Landon Collins under Jack Del Rio
mm,
because I seen other blokes make plays last year on plays that were called from his aggressive game plan, and I
mm.
know that Andre Collins is capable of doing that. Like
Andre
he's a
Collins.
star.
You mean Landon Collins?
Landon, yeah, sorry, I'm still back in '91. Landon Collins, yeah, he's
Mm.
totally capable of doing that.
Yeah, for sure. No, well, look, we saw him make that great play in the second last preseason game against, you know, that was like, fuck yeah, he can make plays. Like, he
He
came
can,
out of the backfield, smashed that
can.
Bengals dude.
We
Like,
we
yeah,
we really do have uh, great coaching staff. You
mm.
know, Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, two ex linebackers, probably the most important position on the field when you're not including the quarterback. You know,
Mm.
and could you imagine those two heads going together at training, going, you make a great point there. Yeah, let's try it this way. Oh, he can't handle this. So let's not put him in that position. Let's
Mm.
make sure that he can handle himself when the team's doing this, when the opposition's doing that. It's like this and like that, y'all.
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
Yeah.
Did I? Is that like, did I just
That's Snoop.
sound like straight? Oh, Snoop.
Yeah.
I said like Snoop, did I?
Oh dear. So anyway, um, before we sign out tonight, I've got a trivia question for everybody. Um, one team has played in one stadium in the NFL history. Only one team has played in the same stadium since its franchise's birth. Who do you reckon it is? Skinsfanatic's trivia hour.
Well, um, yeah, I'm going to go since the birth of their team
Yeah,
to current date. I would probably
yeah,
say Buffalo Bills.
wrong. That's not true. No, that's not right. No. R2, you got anything? You got an answer? Or are you still there? You can get up on this one. One team has played its entire tenure in one stadium in the NFL. I sent you all the video on the history of the stadiums. This is where I got this from. Found it fascinating. And I got it wrong. But now it made sense. Steelers? Fuck no. They used to play at Three Rivers, didn't they? And was it called Three Rivers Stadium? Before they moved to Hines, and
Yeah.
probably had something before Three Rivers Stadium.
Three Rivers and Hines Field, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So was
I
it
thought it was
Packers?
Green. I thought it was Green Bay, but no, it's not. It's pretty easy. It's the fucking Houston Texans. Mm. You'd think it would be like some old team that had like heaps of tradition and history. Yeah, Houston Texans. They built that place before they moved from. Well, they bought the franchise back to Houston from because Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, and then Houston were like, "We're back in the league, but they're going to build the new stadium first." And yeah, pretty cool.
And good on.
Pretty cool.
I think the Houston fans are a lot more passionate and big-hearted than the pathetic Dallas Cowboy fans. I mean, Dallas Cowboy fans are a real bunch of skirts. That's what I found. I mean, just from watching from afar, that the Cowboy fans are what a bit of pansies. Would you say?
Oh, they're sooks. They've turned into fucking sour little sooky delusional fucks. That's what
Yeah.
they've turned into.
Oh,
No, mate.
they're bad, aren't
They're,
they?
they're bad. I wouldn't want to be in any of their fucking fan groups on Facebook or whatever because they'd just be as bad as us, I reckon.
Fucking embarrassing. Yeah. No, they are. They're a laughing stock.
Yep. So we have the season starting on Friday, next Friday.
Mm, mm.
Don't forget to make your
Oh,
Super Brew tipping comp picks.
no, no.
Does anyone want to remind me who's playing?
It will be the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if I may offer a quick tip, people,
Well, I was going to say
I
we
will
we need to
contest.
make a prediction on that game because we're not
I
going to be
don't
able
we
to.
do.
Hey,
Yeah, if we want to make picks, I mean, I can tell you the winner right now.
well then do it.
Uh, guys, make sure you are backing the Dallas Cowboys with the head start on this one because whatever the Washington football team can do, the Dallas Cowboys can do it better. So make sure that you are on the Cowboys for week one with the head start. Um, the Bucks will be a bit slow getting out of the gate, so don't miss out.
All right. Well, I was just going to say, but like, let's just pretend this is the Super Brew tipping competition, and we're going to go through the games each week. I just need a straight up winner.
I'm not ready to give a straight up winner. No.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm
Uh,
saying. The game's not going to. We're not going to do. We're going to do this
Give
show
me
next
the
Friday.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right. We're going to do this show next Friday after the result of that game. So
We will be. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Oh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the game.
yeah. I think it'd be hard to go past Tampa Bay. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay too. R2 says
Right.
Tampa by 3. Okay.
It'll be pretty much that. That's what I've got myself. It's not going to be much more than that.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
really
Well,
looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
it's a pity we couldn't get R2 on the show this week. Well, hopefully we'll get him um, back next week. He needs to
No,
fix up
well,
his
okay, well, I mean,
bandwidth.
before we say ta-ta, if we're making predictions for a game in 7 days, I mean, why don't both of us name a Super Bowl winner right now? Because I don't see us going through predictions during the regular season. So this is our free week. Why don't we put Super Bowl winner on the line? I want to hear your pick right now, and I understand that you're going to pick the football team, so take that out of the equation, and you've
No, I
preached
would. I wouldn't sit here and tell
anyone.
you that. I wouldn't. Not going to sit here and tell you that we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's just ludicrous.
Well, you're not allowed to sit here and tell me that we aren't. So I'm going to assume you that you are, and tell me who's going to win
Okay.
if it's not.
Um, I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills. You there?
Yeah, no, it's
I
good.
was wondering
Yeah,
what the big dramatic pause was all about.
no, that's good. No, I like it. No, fair enough. No, that's fair enough.
Or do you want me to say Kansas City? Do you?
No,
Like,
I just want to be able to watch this one back in 17 weeks, and here you go, Buffalo Bills.
well, they were in the championship game last year, weren't they?
I like the pick.
Yeah.
I will take it
I'm
on
predicting
board.
them to go a step further.
Yeah, I will take it on board. Do you want my
You
pick
know,
or?
I was all over Buffalo last season. Buffalo, Green Bay.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. No, all good. All good. I'm gonna. Of course, I've asked for a pick. My official pick before the first game of the season. I'm going to have to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Put me down for. Yeah, put me down as San Francisco 49ers NFL champions, uh, September the 2nd.
Well, you have been drinking.
I've been drinking quite a bit tonight. Um, I just don't like those teams who fucking toot their own fucking horn. And the 49ers had a little bit of a dirt track last year, and I think it might be enough for them to be uh, one of the hardest teams to beat in the NFC East. Like, honestly, like, I'm giving you a tip without putting on my rose-coloured glasses. So if you're watching this, understand that my Super Bowl winner is who you think it is.
I just can't believe you laughed at my Bills prediction. Then you go ahead and pick the
I did
49ers.
not,
Like,
mate.
you thinking Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win the Super Bowl, do you? Or their rookie quarterback? It's crazy. No, but all right. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I like it.
Got to make a call. Like, yeah. Much as I don't like it, and I hope they play some exciting football. No, I think they might be one of the teams that Washington will face in the championship game. And it's going to be like that, isn't it? Rivera versus fucking Shannon.
I'll take it. Any day of the
Of
week.
course. Boom.
Yep. All right. My ass is getting a bit sore, and it's getting late. So I am going to end this show tonight, and looking forward to the start of the season in 7 days' time. And yeah, it's going to be good, man. Bills and Bucks and the boys started off, so
We might have
going to be
something to
mad.
say on next Friday show about that
Yeah, we'll
game.
go through all the next week. We'll go through all our games for next week. So make your picks. It's going to be a hoot. All right. Anything you wanted
Yep.
to add, or you good?
Thank you, Skinsfanatic. Good luck to your team, everybody. Really can't wait. Roger, I'll private message you until until then. Take, see you guys.
Peace.